Welcome to the Jira Life, the place to find news, events, and interviews with the Atlassian community's movers and shakers. Join our hosts, Alex, Dr. Jira Ortiz, and Rodney, the Jira guy Nissen, as well as the Jira amigos in the peanut gallery, as we sit down and discuss the latest going on in the Atlassian ecosystem. Because we didn't choose the Jira Life, the Jira Life chose us.
Hello, Jeremigos.
Sponsored by Revise.
Sponsored by Revise.
Should probably do a better job at announcing our sponsor at the beginning of the segments.
I mean, we really should because we do have some exciting news. I hope everyone loves the purple because Revise has signed on to be our sponsor throughout all of 2025.
Yeah, the purple's staying for a while.
Hooray.
So much that I've even matched my microphone. You can't see it. There it is.
I like that.
Revise colors.
Wait, can I do that? I only have blue and green. Darn it.
Sorry.
You gotta
I
spend
didn't
the extra money.
Like,
You gotta spend the extra money to make sure the podcast.
Oh, no,
sounds
you just
good
turned
when-
it off, Alex.
No, I hit it. But you gotta spend the extra money so the podcast sounds good when you're driving on the freeway. And then
Yep.
your Jira amigos complain that you can't hear it because it was their 8-track player that wasn't working.
It
Talking
do
about
be
you,
like
Sarah.
that.
Apparently, I'm confused by how my microphone works. I think I just turned on my volume with it on accident. And anyway, it'll be a better show after that.
But today we had the lovely Joanna with us. Hi, Joanna.
Thank you. I'm in the Christmas spirit. I didn't get the memo about purple, so you know what I mean? And Christmas is all about red, so here I am.
Nice and red. Then today we won't be talking about stealing neighbors' electricity.
No, we will. You got to power those lights, Christmas lights somehow.
Through
Okay.
the sun.
Sun, neighbors' electricity. It all comes from sun at some point.
Oh, Miss Joanna, but you've been quite the busy person today.
Me? Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
weren't you on? I saw you on the internet earlier today.
Yes, that's why I'm still partying. Okay. Sorry. Yes, we had Are You Smarter Than a Jira admin episode this morning, bright and early at 7:30. Daryl later followed up and said, yeah, it's really hard to be like up on your humor game that early in the morning. But I was drinking my eggnog with nothing in it, though I've now been told you can put rum, whiskey, and all that good stuff. But anyway, it was a very fun show. I was just so excited. So I decided to stay in this gig. And every meeting I've had, I've attended like this.
I mean,
I
it
support
is
that.
season.
It is the season. And this is my last day before taking off for the holidays. So, you know, I'm ready.
In your mind, you're already out there. Any fun and exciting plans for the holidays?
Well, my kids are coming to town because they both are now adulted really, really well independently. And I live in San Jose in the Bay Area, and they're both in Seattle. So they're coming down tonight, in fact. And my son is bringing his girlfriend home for the first time, and they've been together for a few months. So, like for
Like a Christmas movie at your house.
parent, like when your child brings home their significant other, is like, you know, a whole new adventure.
Who's
Oh,
more
boy.
nervous, do you think? You, her, or him?
Exactly. Good question. I know.
That is a legit question.
It is legit.
Right?
I met my future in-laws, now in-laws, for the first time during Thanksgiving, and yeah, that I know from that perspective, that was a whole new level of nerves I have not experienced. I could do tests, exams all day long, not a problem. Going to meet my girlfriend's relatives for the first time, new level of anxiety I did not know existed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But my son already like gave me the instructions like about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. He's like, Mom, don't do this. Don't do this. Make sure, you know, he's like, you know, don't come in my room and ask me in the morning if I want eggs or bacon. Like, okay, I'll just make both.
I just would avoid the room altogether. Just
That's what texting's for, right? You just send a text now. You're just like, hi.
Yeah.
My wife does the whole Alexa, send a notification or a message, and it broadcasts throughout the whole house.
Oh, right. We
I
do.
mean, you
That's
got
our
to
dinner
maximize
bell.
that embarrassment while you have the opportunity.
Yeah. I would take some advantage if you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Don't go overboard, but just enjoy it while you have it.
Yeah. Yes. And it is kind of like a Christmas story. I mean, I'm a, it's my guilty pleasure to watch the Hallmark Channel. So somebody said it's like a Hallmark movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just watching one of the Lindsay Lohan movies, the ones that came out for this year, and I don't know if you've seen the movie, but the premise is she's dating a guy who's like the sister is dating her old ex-boyfriend. And so they meet up and they have to pretend they never met each other before, but they were like passionate lovers for like their entire youth. So it makes for a very awkward Christmas.
Okay.
Is that the title of it? A very awkward Christmas? Because it should be.
Well, fortunately I have met the girlfriend once over Zoom. It would be more awkward if she's much older than him. But no, fortunately, she seems
You gotta make them do all the very awkward things, and you gotta be the mean mom, the mean mother-in-law. Make her earn her keep.
Well, Alex is saying that because his kids are what?
7 and 12.
Yeah, just wait. You'll change.
I'm
mean,
lucky I have.
husband
I think I'm lucky I have boys
after.
because if I had a daughter and she was bringing a boyfriend home, that guy would not make it back home.
So the first time I met my father-in-law, first time going there, all this, at some point he actually like, hey, why don't you come have a talk with me out in the garage? And I was convinced I was not coming back out of that garage ever again.
Was it a very rural setting?
Oh,
So
very
nobody was gonna
rural.
hear you
Yes.
scream?
Yeah, right.
like out in the barn. Come with me out to the barn while I polish my what's the word? Sickle.
I had a buddy out in St. Louis. He lived out in oh boy, what's south of St. Louis? Starts with an A. Starts with an A.
Arnold.
Arnold. Yes, he lives out in Arnold. And I was like, why do you have so many guns? And he's like, you see that little girl over there? She's gonna bring a boy home one day.
Yep.
He needs to know what's up.
My two cousins were county police officers and talked many times about planning the first time somebody brought somebody home and how they'll be sitting there cleaning their guns as they interview the prospective
Joanna,
dates.
what would be really, really funny is if you start giving her like Jira questions.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Actually, what was not funny is that when he was still, I think it was his last year of high school, and he goes, Mom, I have this really cool tool. I want to show you how to use it. It's Notion. And I was like, no. I was like, no, son of mine. It's gonna use it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny. Your son, like, he's like,
Look, you can organize your whole life. I'm like, yes, I have Jira for that.
that'd
Do
be
you
so
know who's
funny.
paying
just
for that
have
education?
watch your son just like work at money.com.
Oh no. I don't think that'd be allowed.
I know. No.
There should be some rules. Like when my wife and I worked together most of our career, and so we always had to disclose that we had a potential conflict because there's always a checkbox. Are you in a relationship with any of your coworkers? I'm like, well, I'm married to one. So I would imagine Atlassian had like some sort of a conflict. Or your spouses or children work at a competitor.
Right.
So that as part of your as part of your contract, you'll be like, no spouses or children of mine will use any other tool. Yeah.
Conditions of employment for sure.
Watch the daughter-in-law work at monday.com.
Just stop giving them the airtime, Alex. Come
No,
on.
it'd be so funny. The guy, like Joanna's son brings home this girl, and she's like a product manager for Monday or Notion. It's like, nope, you turn it.
I'm just gonna say,
Table knives.
can this be any more of a Hallmark movie at that point?
Well, exactly, right? That
The
I was
ultimate
just about to
nerdy
say
one.
something like that.
If
The
Atlassian
Oh.
made Hallmark movies.
How will they ever
Nerds.
integrate those products? Can the mother-in-law integrate with the daughter? I don't know.
Very Jira Christmas.
Very
Who
true.
knows them? Meanwhile, Azure DevOps is knocking at the door, going, "Hey, let me in."
Joanna, you can't tell me that at the Atlassian roundtable, you guys aren't having these kind of nerdy jokes and conversations all the time.
Well, no. Well, what happens at Atlassian stays at Atlassian. I'm saying nothing else.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Wait, but can you tell us a little bit about what happened last week then?
Okay. Yes. So I can tell you that our entire community and learning team went to Anaheim because that's where we're going to have Team 25. So we've been in Vegas for a while now. And let's see, you've been there, right? So, we were housed at the Venetian, but of course people are kind of roll over. And now we're going to be at Anaheim. So we went there. The marketing folks went earlier to check out the convention center and the different hotels around in the area. We ourselves stayed at two of the hotels that sort of flank the Anaheim Convention Center, so we could see both accommodations. We also sampled the food. So if we have like a community dinner, where would we like to go? What sort of food they're serving? When we were served food, we were rating it to say like, how do we like these entrees for our different, dinners and snacks and so on the show.
What a painful job you must have.
I know.
Yes, it sounds pretty awful. I was
Sucks to show up every
feeling
day.
bad for her.
Exactly. So yeah, that wasn't like the entire day, but yes, we were there for 2.5 days, and it was fabulous. And both so the Anaheim Convention Center, Alex, because you were just there, is like literally across the avenue from California Grand Adventure, and then you just walk down the street. And so people were going to downtown Disney to check it out. You could stay an extra day if you wanted to bring your family and all that. I had to get back home, but it's really nice. And the convention center, here's the big bonus. It's so quieter and just calmer than Vegas, it's lovely to get to, the food was fabulous. So it was great. I'm excited for, from Team 25 this year.
Yeah, I've been putting out tips on the Team 25 Slack channel because I basically gave people, I'm like, here's a red line around the convention center. Stay within those boundaries because outside, you might come back in pieces.
Oh, well.
Anaheim's we call it Anacrime. It's a very dangerous place to be.
Oh,
You're just selling this convention here, Alex. Just selling it.
It's a very dangerous place to be, especially at 9:30 p.m. Pacific time.
I know, you know what? We felt safe. I mean, we walked to like another restaurant and we walked down Catella and then another street. And and a lot of people were walking back from Disneyland with strollers, kids.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. That's why I made the red perimeter. Stay within the red perimeter. You're fine. Nothing's going to happen to you. But the moment you cross the perimeter, that's when you're asking for trouble.
Okay.
We'll have to. Let me see if I have it to display it. A couple people have asked me for it. Mark
Well, coming from St. Louis, a place that doesn't always have the best reputation, I can understand that areas of a city does not mean it's the entire city. So.
I know, but like honestly, for Vegas, you would have had to have done that around stay within the perimeter of every casino. Don't you know what I mean?
Yeah, like literally stay on the not even on the strip because the strip's crazy.
Exactly. So this is much better. And like the convention center is right next to the arena, and it's like this avenue lined with palm trees. It's lovely. There's fountains.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a California gal. You know what it's like to have palm trees everywhere.
Yeah. That's why I'm trying to sell it, and here you are knocking it.
I'm the ultimate geek on Disney though, because I live there.
All right, you would know. Fine, you're looking for the broadcast.
Well, sell us on the weather there too, though, right? Because that's another.
Yeah.
Oh. So it's December, and we had 2 events on rooftops. And it was just perfect and lovely. Okay, sure, they have like those, whatever the heaters, outdoor heaters, but it was perfect. I mean, where else in the world can you have that? Like,
yeah, it's a nice, cool. It was a nice breezy 62 degrees at night, right?
Oh my gosh,
it was nice. It was very nice.
This is the perimeter you want to stay within.
All right.
Here's the convention center for reference.
So what's the scale of that then? What are we looking at? Like a mile, like a half mile? What are we-
It's bigger.
I would say half a mile. No, yeah, about a half a mile. You can walk it.
Okay, but that's more than half a mile.
You think so? I don't know. I go to Disneyland. We go for 4 hours, and I knock out 10,000 steps in 4 hours.
Yeah. See,
Yep.
it's bigger than that.
And that's just walking in the park, like from the parking structure to the park and back to the parking structure.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay within the red, folks. You will be a-okay.
That looks like half of a Christmas tree. Nose. Or anyway, I'm excited about Anaheim. That's what I want to say.
I'm very excited too. I think it's going to be a great time. I was telling people some people were thinking and considering Airbnbs, and I'm like, you just want to be as close to the action as possible because the
Mhm.
farther away you get from Catella, like the
Mhm.
harder it's going to get.
So
I was
Yeah,
also
the earlier
thinking-
you have to go home.
I want to take this chance to segue a bit because I got a chance to do this at Team 24 Europe, which is take an exam at the conference.
Yeah.
Alex has stated he would like to do the same,
Okay.
which means we have 4 months to prepare him for that test. Is this something you guys are planning for again?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are. I can't give you all the deets, but I can tell you that we're definitely going to have certification opportunities. So more than one.
That was my question.
Yes, I don't think it's out on the website yet, so I'm not gonna say.
It's on the ticket though, right? When you sign up.
Oh, is it already listed? Okay, well then
Well, I mean, on the ticket you can buy your like cert day or whatever they call it.
yeah, and it's multiple. You have multiple time frames that you can do so. So that was a problem with the last couple times we did it, right? Because it kind of conflicted with their partner day, or maybe people had meetings or whatever. So you have multiple options this time. We also are going to teach some boot camps for a couple of the certs. So there's those that really want that, and people had the idea that they might be able to have such a boot camp at the previous ones. You know, the difficulty is people are like, oh, I want a boot camp, but they don't realize there's a lot of content to learn. So we can't really do justice with like an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That would be an interesting thing where you take the boot camp like on Monday and you take the test on Tuesday.
That's what we're doing. Yep.
I was going to say, back in 2018, maybe, I did a
2018,
class
I took a
and
boot
then
camp.
was able to take the
Summit.
test if I wanted to.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
this is the boomerang of exactly that, Sarah. Yeah. Yep.
Now, I will say, again, we were kind of pacing ourselves a little bit, but it did take me and Alex 14 hours worth of content to get through the ACP 120. So, how full a day is this boot camp going to be?
You could do it in 8 hours. We
Yeah.
had a lot of tangents in 14 hours.
What?
So it has to be compressed, and you got to give them time for lunch. You know, people eat to eat and have a break, so it's got to be shorter than that. But here's the other thing. So Marie and I had led a boot camp. I think it was before we had certification day, but I want to say it was 3 years ago, and we did just the boot camp prep, but we didn't have cert day. So people thought that like they could go to the thing and then take it online proctor the next day or right after they got home or whatever after the conference. But they were expecting to learn everything they didn't already know in that one day, which is not the case. So this is the thing we tell everybody. This, you need to already have had the experience. You need to already feel like you kind of know the product. And then you take the boot camp to fill in the gaps and to remind yourself and to get extra tips like, oh, this is what they might focus on, the, you know, contrast between team manager and company manage. But a lot of people come with the expectation that they'll like, we'll teach you everything you need to know. Not a great expectation.
Yeah, I will tell you, I took the 120 recently,
Yep.
and that thing was a doozy.
120 you thought was the doozy. Try the server data center one.
I was about to say the original data center or the original server one.
Yeah.
Because I'm in Jira 12 to 14 hours a day, and I'm taking that test, and I'm like, why the hell is the Atlassian asking me any of this? I never do any of this.
When I took that boot camp, the one Sarah was talking about back in, I think it was 2017, they literally said as part of it, you need to have at least 2 years experience in the tool And from my experience back then, which again, it was a very different creature back then,
Mhm.
that was an understatement.
Yeah,
You
I
probably
was saying
need even
understatement.
more.
Looking at 120 now that I took it, like you need at least 5 years.
No. Okay.
No, I'm
I'll-
serious because
5 years, but
what you do as a Jira admin day in and day out is not on the test. And the one thing that you do one time every 5 years is on the test. And I'm like,
Yes.
why?
All right. Well, so I will tell you that the tests have evolved for sure. That's one thing. What are we writing? What are you highlighting? Questions come from the public docs. Yeah, end up being a bit obscure. Well, so let me answer this somewhat fully. They have evolved. We had like really difficult questions where part of the problem was we were testing for really like, edge case, kludgy kind of scenarios. Now they're a lot more mainstream, but they might not be something that you do all the time, because a part of the exam development process is to rate the objectives or the concepts that we're testing on based on frequency and criticality. And so basically, like, how often do you do this? If you do it a lot, then there should be number of good questions on it, right? Because you do it a lot, so you have to know it. But also you might not do it a lot, but it's very critical, because if you screw up, you're going to really screw up bad, right? So based on that combination, some things come up to the surface as a content that we want to write about. And that's sometimes what you see.
But I think Chris has a good point here, right? Like me, I think I did well. I got an 86%. But I do the activities that are on the test frequently. But if you're in a single company, you're not doing a lot of those things after the initial setup.
That's true. Yeah. And also, like, you might have inherited your Jira, so you've never actually, went up from scratch.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, that's true. You might have just inherited. Yeah.
And then you don't know like what were the initial bells and settings, and you think like, oh, this is out of the box functionality, when it turns out you have apps, right? So we always you have to have worked with the vanilla product without any marketplace stuff.
I'll tell you this much: I walked in with the JQL questions, knowing like, you know what, I see JQL, I'm skipping it. I'm taking the L.
No, those were my. I know these. I've got this ones. Those were my easy ones. That I'm like,
No,
okay,
the
these
whole,
are 3
like,
points.
The
You
whole
know-
assignee was and
Or
date in, change from.
I have a whole Miro study board
use
I
custom
should share
cards
with
for all
you
this,
guys.
man.
Yeah, I need to share something. I put it together a Miro board for myself with a bunch of mnemonics when I was studying. So maybe I'll share that over with you guys. That had some of the I think I had some JQL stuff in there, and I definitely remember one of my mnemonics was something about a Subway and a Subway sandwich and a soda can, because Kanban can have sub filters.
So
It was like all these crazy things that totally work in my head to be like, okay, when I see this word, I can pick, make this picture, and then it'll remind me of just some of those finer points that are associated with it. And then the other thing I was going to say, it's absolutely those apps were throwing me.
yeah,
Like, because you think you're so used to it. You think it's just part of it. And you're like, oh, damn it.
that caused me so much heartache when I took the ACP 100. Now, when I took the ACP 100, I'm willing to say I was not ready for it. I probably took it sooner than I should have. And there's a lot of functionality that I had just assumed with Jira that ended up being, I found out later, apps.
Mm-hmm.
I did pass it on my first try. I don't know how. I'm very proud of the fact that I passed it, because it was a different creature back then. But you really got to be careful to have, and this is something I say now, and I think Alex says the same thing. I've heard it from you guys. If you're going to be studying for the exam, get your own instance. It's a free instance. You get to see how it's set up from default, from the very beginning. Do yourself the favor.
Yeah, all I know is when I took the 520, my reaction was something was wrong, because I got it done like in 45 minutes. When I took the 120, I was like, something is wrong. I'm in this for 2 hours and I'm still not done with my first pass.
Yeah, I've said I think the 520 was one of the easier ones, but I'd had so many other ones prior to that I think it was like getting in the groove of the questions. And then, for having your own instance too, I had read like every bit of help test, every help tip that was in there, every screen that said, this is what you do with this, right? Like I read all of those things. And I think that helped tremendously.
Yeah, but okay, now my final plug about that. We want people to learn. Like ultimately, it's not about the badge, right? The glue on badge, whatever. It's about the learning, right? Because then you're like, oh, I didn't know you could do that, or like I'm going to try that next time.
Yeah, but I could do that without having to take the test, right?
And then nobody does. You need the pressure.
I do, and I put it on the internet.
Right. I mean, we say that, Alex, but we still do the study sessions and put those on the internet.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I learned so much from the study sessions that, like, on the test, I was like, whatever. But I got the value out of it from the study session that I'm like, there were certain things that I had just no idea that I do now use in my Jira implementations daily.
Mm-hmm. And I think that is the ultimate benefit right there.
Yeah, but I could have read through the document and not had the minor heart attack of having to wait and go to a dumb test facility and sit there for 3 hours.
You wouldn't have. See, that's the thing about it is, people need the goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're goal oriented.
I'm just here because I have a jacket in my closet. I'm not allowed to wear it until Joanna says that I can wear it.
I will hurt you if you wear that, Alex.
Those were Joanna's words.
Good
You
word.
need to earn that jacket.
So I need to know, how can we go back and find our scores if we deleted the email? That's
It's not in your cert thingy?
because I have to hear Alex all the time. I got this, and I'm like, damn it, I need to see how I did, and I have to compare myself.
Your overall score in the Cert Metrics portal.
But are the scores in there?
The overall score, the top line item that you got 83% overall is the breakdown. I don't think is in there.
Yeah.
I think Sarah wants to see this from mine.
Oh, did you just doctor that up right now, Dr. Jira?
No, it's mine.
All right. 86.
Oh, I love that you got 100% on notifications, because I can tell you that was where I bombed, was on notifications. And then my other big tip for anybody out there, even if you're not a fan, know about the difference between team and company. That was the other place where I
that's where I learned more. Was we didn't touch team management. I avoid team managed projects.
Yeah, I love it. From that last Ice Taja we had, somebody said, friends don't let friends create team managed projects.
It's a shirt. It's a shirt now.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, watch. Oh boy, what's my thingy?
Hang on. I'm looking for my score now, where you say it is.
It's in your email.
I'm a little obsessed.
Oh, Chris, is that your quote? Okay.
Nice.
Somebody recently asked, we were over dinner, I was talking to somebody about the SAT, and they asked me what was my score. I'm like, oh my God. I know this just like 4 years ago, but
so you'll like this. So we got our Atlassian with the A for the angels.
Oh,
and we're currently working on the A with the little Mickey Mouse ears for Anaheim. But here it is. Friends don't let friends create team managed projects.
It's amazing. Excellent.
We weren't kidding.
There are some gems over on the Ape Tech store. Also get your TJL merch.
we got him in cups. Sweaters.
I was gonna say, you have items flattering for women, perchance.
We have there should be a female section.
Because I gotta admit,
there's a woman's t-shirt.
I put on my new t-shirt, the Emeritus t-shirt or whatever, or the new Ace one, and not made for me. I will tell you that.
Sorry.
That's okay.
We have the mugs. Trello is greater than Jira.
Oh.
I was much more excited by the water bottle, so I'm okay with the t-shirt not working.
Okay. Oh, it's on the mug too. I see that.
Yeah, we got them on the mugs. We got them on everything. We got a few things. What else is cool on here? We got no blockers, no impediments. I got 99 issues, but Jira ain't one.
Nice.
Are you gonna have to change that?
I know, right? We got
99
99 works and Jira ain't one.
We're kind of. I know.
Just the ring as well.
We do need to update our issue type shirts now though, because the issue type logos are different.
Oh, yeah.
They changed.
It was
So
noticing.
Joanna, so what happens now that you guys have the new Jira? Do we have to go retest?
Retest what? All your t-shirts or what?
Retest all of our Jira utilization, because our issue types are now a really cool. What would you even call this?
Ribbon.
Flag, a banner,
Ribbons?
a ribbon. I like ribbon.
Yeah, ribbon. I don't know. I don't know who comes up with these. I'm still looking for that person internally who comes up with these little icons.
I love the new, like, just this new design. I'm really, really digging it. The little lightning bolt.
Yeah.
I mean,
We missed one with the ask the question.
yeah.
It does look
The number
familiar.
one thing I've
little
always
bug.
heard about Jira is that the UI feels like it's out of 2015.
Mhm.
It feels like they did a lot with this redesign to try and bring it up to at least 2021.
There's some cool icons. Look at all the new issue types or
Like-
work types. Look at the new work types.
I like it. If you wait another 10 years, you'll be retro and it'll be back again. So, you got to kind of really find a sweet spot.
Themable Jira, where you could have a retro setting that takes everything back to the old one.
Nice. I like that idea.
Oh, well, I guess I'm spending the evening on Jack filling out a feature request.
There's
Well,
a spot
Joanna,
saying- Go ahead.
since the last time we spoke, Joanna, I now have the 120.
Congratulations, Alex.
Thank I'm working on the what is it next, Ronnie? 620?
Yeah, 620 is our next target.
Okay. All
That
right.
one is going to be interesting time.
There's no surprises there, Alex, except I will say people are issue collectors. You know what I mean? Like
Work collectors.
work item collectors. I wonder if that will get renamed, actually. Anyway, 620 has less surprises because there aren't like a bunch of bells and whistles that like are outside of the purview of what you really do.
But I'm worried about 620 because beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
What do you mean?
If you saw the Jira project that I create sometimes, you'd be like, Jira could do that.
Okay, all right.
Not
Now,
to,
the
not to
thing-
brag.
No,
I've
I'm just
always
worried
heard
because
about
I don't-
the thing I've always heard about 600 and 620 by extension is they're actually harder for Jira admins because you have to be super conscious about what can I do as a Jira admin versus a project admin.
That's true. That is definitely a tip. Thanks for pointing that out. Because you have to wear that hat because it generally will say like Alex is a project admin, whatever, what can he do in his project? And it's like, well, he can't create a custom field because they'll say in a company managed project. You know what I mean? So yes, you're right. You're right.
But
And I
speaking
still
of
think the
retro-
answer should be E, file a ticket with the Jira admin.
Oh.
No, actually, Lacey is on. Look at that. She's one of my certification admins too. I'm so excited. So see, we tell the people who are working, and if you aren't yet, you can be, right? We don't write things like, functionality that doesn't exist. You know what I mean? So we don't say like and we also don't write stuff that would, that would be like, go ask somebody to do this for you, because that wouldn't be, a good answer. So anyway.
And on that note, Joanna, you said you needed 30 minutes for your presentation. So
Oh yeah, now I'm going for a whole 30 minutes.
She just said she had 30 minutes worth of content. We had to
she
fill up
comes
the
and she's
other
like, what
30
are we going
minutes.
to do for the other
So
30 minutes?
Oh my God. Oh, no. You have to ask me questions about what I'm about to say. All right. So here's the first one. Now that we went live with the very new associate, or, Atlassian certification, how many associate do we have with this new one?
A lot.
Don't look it up.
I don't. I have it on my road to $1 million sheet.
Wait, so how many ACAs are there?
Including this latest one we just released, November 19th.
Oh, I'm going with 9. No,
Eh.
I got 6 on my count.
Okay, yes, 6. Did you look it up, Alex?
I have it on my road to $1 million spreadsheet, and I need to take all of them. I got 2 done.
Okay, Yes, there are 6 ACAs and 6 ACPs as of today. So we have a very nice balance now. So this one is the 6th one. And by the way, if you haven't figured this out, like, you know how like our ACPs have numbers like 100, 120. So the 100 series was Jira. The 200 was Confluence. The 300 was, what was the 300? Oh, Agile. That was Agile stuff because we had the ACP 300, which was Agile development. The 400 is JSM. The 500 was system admin. We retired that. And the 600 was project stuff, right? That was the old number scheme. If you know, for the
You're all welcome for pointing out that I thought the 600 level class was infinitely harder than the 100 level class like colleges.
Not college.
But apparently that's not the case.
Or like a Dewey Decimal System.
And then there's 2 people who are lovers of numbers and haters. There's like, it's just like no in between. But anyway, with the ACAs, they're just number, you know, we increment 5 up. So that's all it is. There's not really the same kind of scheme. So 900 was Jira Essentials or Jira Software Essentials, board configuration. Anyway, we're at 925 because we started with 0.
So, but make sure you put in your marketing material. This is not a PhD level class. I see 900 on there. I'm walking away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so confused now because I was looking at there's the JSM sort of specialization one, and that has 4, I thought, in it.
Yeah, it has 4 in it. Yeah.
And then the other one also had 4, I thought.
Okay, so let me
overlap.
Okay, wait, let me tell you, let me back up just a little bit to go back to the new cert and we'll get into designations. The new cert is for agents. So it's ACA 925. Thank you very much. Yep, it's for agents.
I'm trying to pull them up. Hold up.
What are you pulling up? All of
I'm trying to get to the certification page so you can see them.
Oh, get up to get certified.
I did. I clicked on that and that took me to.
And then you have to expand the see all of them. So go back up. There's the, get certified and then scroll like a little bit down and you have to click on a button that says see all associate certifications.
Oh, here we go. Walk right past it. Here we go. There they are.
So then
there's all 6.
There it is. So Jira Service Management Agent Essentials is the one that just went live in November. And this, we've never had one like this. So this is the first of its kind to certify agents. And, you know, back when, if you all recall, Jira Service Desk, as it was first called, you know, the functionality has grown a lot. We've introduced forms, right, through the Proforma acquisition. Of course, you know, automation through code barrels, you know, automation rules. And we have assets right now, asset management, Ops Genie functionality, which is now JSM operation. So agents actually have to know a lot to be an effective agent in JSM. So we're testing them on that. That's what this is all about. And it's basically, you know, like if you get certified, what we're telling about this person is you can get right in on your first day, be super effective, be writing knowledge-based articles, be resolving issues, know, you know, how forms look or requests look inside of Jira, how they look outside of Jira, customer visible status kind of stuff. They can write knowledge-based articles, suggest them. They can understand reports, of course, work in queues, all that kind of stuff. So it's like all of that's what's being tested in this one.
Cool.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Or apparently I can wait because I haven't signed up for it yet. But
I mean,
so 25 questions, you've got an hour, which is really generous. You know what I mean? Like an hour is more than you need. Because also the other thing, if you've like, you know, blinked once, you know that we've also stopped writing questions that have multiple keys, right? So there's only ever one right answer. If you're back in the day to earn one of these jackets, you had to sit exams.
120 still had that, by the way. I was pleasantly unpleased.
Some of them before we refresh all the items. Yeah. So you'd be like, choose 3, you know, and there's no partial credit. But now all of our exam refreshes and all of our new, and certainly all the ACAs, because they're all new, only ever one right answer. So
bless your soul.
Yeah, generally out of 4, sometimes 5.
The pass rate then is?
Oh, look it up, Alex. I'm so sorry.
I put you on the spot. I want to say it was like 75%.
Well, it has to be like round number because it's under 25. So it's either
68.
Like, yeah, 68.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Math whiz, how many is that out of 25?
Oh, like 10.
No.
it's not
No,
bad.
it's a high number. It's like 20. It's like 20, no?
15? Probably 15.
No, it's a high number. You could barely miss any.
Let's see. Let's check. Yes, it is 17 out of 25. I did actually have to pull out a calculator. 17 out of 25, which is still not bad. And again, look at the distribution here of what you have to know. So look up in the exam topics there. That's where the focus is. So navigation, you need to know how to work inside of the Jira interface, and you need to know how the customer portal and help center appears for customers, right? And how to navigate how request types are in portal groups, right? As part of the customer portal of a particular project, right? You need to know various settings at the project level. So customer sharing, can customers share requests with each other or other people in the project, or only those in the organization? Is it an open or a restricted access project? That kind of stuff. So that's under navigation, settings, and access. Then under managing tickets and knowledge base articles. So it's all about working in queues, being able to resolve tickets, understanding workflow. So there's a little bit of the overlap with just Jira proper, right? Like you can add attachments, you can add comments, but the distinction between internal comments, external comments, right? Those are the kinds of things we'd want to call attention to on this exam. Then queues, SLAs, search and reports. So this is like, how can you read the SLA? How do you know when an SLA is about to be breached or that it's already breached? Like being able to recognize the little icons. Speaking of icons, it's like paused, it's red, it's yellow, Then, to be honest, I forget now what advanced features. I think it's Atlassian Intelligence. I'm going to have to look it up what that bit is.
Ooh, are we going to get one on Atlassian? Oh, never mind. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Go back to your screen.
Well, I was trying to get back to all the certs, or do you want to see the specific questions for the agent?
No, I mean specific questions. You mean like?
Oh, sorry, not specific questions, the specific details of the
topics.
agent one.
Oh, no. It's fine.
I was just trying to get back to all the certs again.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was going to ask a question because you mentioned advanced features. Are these based on standard edition, or do you think there would be like questions for premium in any of these?
I'm looking it up as we talk. So we try as much as possible to base everything on standard, but every so often, like AI, you know what I mean? We will want to test on that. So here I am. So advanced features, working with asset objects and services, being able to understand the concepts of an object, object type, object attributes, right? What can you see when you click on the view graph, right? To understand the relationship between tickets and their object data, knowing how to look up services, then also being able to utilize incident management features. So the on-call schedules, being able to communicate outages and disruptions through status page. So we don't really test on status page, but just know that that's how outages might be communicated.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you guys know how that works?
Sorry. What did you ask, Alex?
I'm asking Joanna if Atlassian knows how incident management works.
Hey, for somebody who just entered a whole bunch of events into
There it is.
happy timing.
I was waiting for that to come up.
For you all.
Alex, did you create a major incident?
I created a major. I was just trying to see what the triage and response was for.
I'm going to fire back at you. Anyway, post-incident reviews, that routing rules, escalation policies. So not configuring any of this stuff because this is an agent, but like knowing about it so you can use it. That's what's on this exam.
It's a lot. Like in a good way, right? Because exactly what you're saying, right? So that even though there's the areas that you need to be familiar with, even within those areas, there's so much. So it's going to help show, in my opinion, right? Like I know it or I don't. You can't. There's things in there you can't guess. Or as many of the practice tests as I've taken on these things, there are things that you can think because you guys do a really good job of putting things in. Like I think that sounds right. Yes.
On a very serious note, am I going to get called up to like the principal's office for this?
No.
Are you sure? Because like apparently Atlassian doesn't send out apologies. They had to for me.
Well, did you get called out on that? They're like,
all I know is when I see MCB at Team 25, I'm gonna go, that guy that almost broke Jira right around Christmas? That was me.
That you're in finally, Alex. You've been wanting a selfie. That's how you get it.
I know. The fine print on that email was we're taking legal action against to rectify the situation. No, okay, ready? Here's a sample question from 925 because you know here we are.
All
I
right.
have to read it to you because I'm not going to project it, but it's pretty easily readable. Ready? Which of these 4 action was definitely performed by a human agent versus the virtual agent in JSM? Okay, ready? So out of all these, which one was definitely done by a human?
Wait, but that's not fair. That's already a premium question.
I'm sorry, Alex. She said there would be some premium questions.
And you can get this.
And you can do a free trial of a premium to learn all of these things. Go on.
Exactly. Some things we opted, and so I'm also going to now deflect blame to our SMEs because when we develop exams, we ask the SMEs what we think should be covered, right? Like what's important because that's what's out in the wild, right? So if some of the features were like, okay, if we don't think that we can certify an agent and not know this stuff, then we're comfortable with that. But if the consensus among our subject matter experts is we really need an agent to know this stuff, then it's on the exam. So there you go. All right, here we go. So which was definitely performed by a human agent? A Slack response, an article suggestion, an on-call schedule review, and a service request creation. So this is an action was done.
I would say C.
I'm stuck
The,
between C and D.
On-call action review.
Okay, so make a decision, Alex. The Jira guy says C. What does Dr. Jira say?
So it was C was a reviewing of a what?
On-call schedule. And D was creating a service request.
I'm gonna say C.
C is correct. Yeah.
I get to still be the Jira guy.
Because you could be in teams and interacting with the virtual agent, and it says, "Let me create a request for you."
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you can create a request.
Yeah.
I was confused. What caught me was the whole create the request type.
Yeah, no. It
Not
just
type.
a service request, not a request type.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Word selection is key when you're taking these tests.
Okay.
English.
And
On a
that's-
similar note, Joanna, why do y'all use such not confusing, but why don't you use like easy to roll off the tongue names when you're describing the personnel in your tests?
We're trying to be culturally diverse. Alex.
Yeah, but like employee A is having a problem and needs employee B because I'm over here like, how the heck do I say this name?
Because
And my
you can't
mind is
call
just trying
everyone
to
Bob.
figure out the name, and I lost the question.
Okay. Have you ever had a question about I have a dear friend. A dear friend. Her name is Anuradha. Her husband is Parameswar. Their son's name is Shri Yogesh, and the daughter's name is Karthika Lakshmi. And I'm pretty sure that they have appeared in an exam.
They absolutely have. Those are all names I recognize from these tests, and I'm like, again, nothing against the cultural part of it, but like, I get really not turned off's not the right word, but like I get very overwhelmed with a lot of text on the screen on the question.
Distracted.
Okay,
Yeah.
so look, we do try, to your point. We really do try. And we have definitely gotten so much better in how we train our subject matter experts to write items. And we tell them, look, we don't need the long scenario, cut to the chase. We call that scannability, right? So when we review questions, we go through a really rigorous review, not just for technical expertise and accuracy, but for things like, is it tight? So we say, is the stem tight? So we get rid of all the stuff we have to. For example, we won't give somebody a name unless we need to refer to the name because we want to be, correct. So we wouldn't say like, a Jira user, whatever, created.
Right, yeah. And then the Jira user.
Yeah, so you don't want to say, well, is the Jira user a he or she, right? So then we say, we'll give him a name, like Jira user, user Mike created a ticket. What does he need? Blah, blah, blah. But so in those cases, when we do need a name, then we try to be, inclusive. However, if we don't need the name, if there's a way to write the question without having a name at all, we'll go for that. But again, the part of the challenge, I think, is that what you end up seeing is 25 questions on each form of an exam for an associate certification. For the ACPs, there's more questions, right? Between like 65, 75, right? But we have to write double that because we're writing for two distinct forms of an exam. So if you take it today and you take it in a week, you'll get a different form. Rodney and Alex, you're sitting down, you might get different forms at the same time, right? And then we also write the sample question. So we actually have to write like for the one that I'm currently working on, the refresh of the 420, which is managing Jira service projects, we have to write 174 questions. And I'm not the only one writing. We have 22 subject matter experts. And so they all have a different style slightly, you know what I mean? They will, and they'll go through rigor, but it's still a qualitative review to some extent. So to your point, we try not to. And this is what I was trying to say earlier today at the ICE Taja event, where I remember being in the very first exam writing experience. So let me set the stage for you. 10 years ago, Julia Johnson came on board to Atlassian to bring about certifications. She hired a company named Alpine, which we still use for our for hosting our exams. And she called a bunch of partners. So there was Adaptivist in there, C Prime. I was from Service Rocket at the time. I can't remember all the other companies, but anyway, there was Brain Bits, the Caddis, there were some other partners, and then internal Atlassians, and we served as a subject matter experts. Well, so none of us had the experience of how to write good questions, and none of us had ever taken a Jira-based exam. So you should read. The questions were like this. Pirates are using Jira to the best way to navigate, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Or a shoe cobbler needs to, he works on shoes that are high-heeled women's shoes, all sizes, men's, designer shoes. You're like, what the?
And that was a JQL question, if I remember right.
Did you ever make the founders take the test?
No. And please don't tell them that was it, because they'll be like, and that woman works here now?
Still? I am going to have the ultimate intro. Like, I just got to go up to MCB and go, I'm the guy that got in trouble.
Do you think that's even on his radar?
I'll introduce you that way, Alex. I'll just save you the trouble. Like, remember that December note? That was this guy.
Remember that board meeting where we talked about spamming from our Atlassian servers? That was him.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying some improvements could have been made on the Bevy side.
Expertise, the spam thing.
All right, Jira amigos. Team
right.
25. I want Alex going home with a ton of spam. So everyone get your can of spam and give it to him during the event.
I was in a meeting
at a donation event, right?
I was in a meeting a little bit ago, and I was telling them, I'm like, well, while you guys are going to be out enjoying Jira, figgy pudding, I'm going to be working on your Jira. And they're like, well, you should have some Jira pudding. And AI came up with this. Jira pudding. So guess what's going to be coming very soon here into the Ape Tech market. Take your own copy of Jira pudding, and we'll have a Jira spam.
Yeah, speaking of spam, when we had COVID, that like people were buying that at Costco, like along with the toilet paper. People were like literally sitting out with like crates of spam and toilet paper. And the only thing I could think of, do those two always go together?
Right. Does one create the need for the other?
Yeah.
I don't know. Hawaii must have been upset, because isn't spam like a big thing in Hawaii?
It is.
Like a really big, yeah. They were like, stop taking our spam.
Oh, man. Do you guys please don't bring me spam at team?
Okay, Alex, we need to talk about the Streisand effect, because that's just guaranteeing people are going to do it now.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, please don't do that.
you're lucky I'll have my car there again.
Yep. So, Joanne.
To your local shelters, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I live approximately my house is about 25 minutes away from Disneyland, but my parents' house is like 3 minutes away.
Okay.
TMI, man. Shh.
We don't want people finding
Can I
out.
stay with your parents?
Nobody's gonna how big Anaheim is.
You
know
put
how
a big red
densely
box around it, so yes.
I'm like, yeah, do you know how densely populated Orange County? I can tell you the street I live on, and you won't find out the house. Like 1,000 houses on one street. Everything's on a high rise now too. Anaheim is just like going up.
Oh yeah. Be Hong Kong soon.
Very soon.
Mm-hmm.
So, Joanne,
Yes.
we got about 5 minutes left. You get the honor to have the very last quick Quizlet.
What is
I
that?
bet you didn't know you were going to get
There
quiz on
are-
this test.
There are no badges. There's no certs. There's no pins. No T-shirts.
What is
It's
the
just,
Quizlet? What am I gonna? I'm gonna answer.
You're going to answer questions that we came up with.
Gosh. Oh,
and then
dear.
they'll judge you, though. By the way,
No,
Yeah,
Alex
I-
will judge you. I'm just
You
I
asking
have
you
to agree with
questions.
your answers, Joanna.
all the judgment, none of the prize.
And if I don't like him, guess who's getting all my spam?
Okay. Let me do a little meditation. Ready? Go.
All right. So 5 questions. All these are quick answers. The idea is to get your answer as quick as possible. And then after each question, you get a chance to explain your answer. And
C.
for Alex to judge.
The answer
No
C.
multiple choice, unfortunately.
Darn it. Okay.
So first question. If you could choose to be any animal, what animal would you choose to be?
Sheep.
Sheep?
That's my answer. Sheep.
That was fast. You've thought about this before.
Sheep are my spirit animals. They really are.
Like,
What do you
like,
identify with them? What is it about them?
Well, I have a German Shepherd, so that's one thing, and I've had German Shepherds all my life. This is my 6th German Shepherd in life, and not really by choice. It's not that I'm being that exclusive. The 4 of them came into my life accidentally, and they were all shepherds. So that's one. I just think they're just so docile. I know they're not supposed to be really bright, but I feel like, they're very, and it's like a pastoral scene. I went to New Zealand. That really solidified it for me. My daughter studied in New Zealand for half a year. And I went there to visit her. And honestly, sheep everywhere. More sheep than people. So that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Doesn't one of our sponsors
What?
live in New Zealand?
I know. Yeah. All right, Alex, how did I do?
I just was surprised you had that answer. I mean, you have clearly given this some thought before.
There you go.
Ask your
Okay.
daughter-in-law. Ask your future daughter-in-law.
Yes.
Exactly.
Second question. Would you rather spend alone time floating alone in space or floating alone at sea?
Space.
You're dead in space, though.
I know.
No, you
Maybe.
could be like Bender and just
Okay, this is my reasoning for that. So I get reasoning, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Of course.
I love the movie Interstellar. I love the music from the movie Interstellar. And so
Wait, there was dialogue in Interstellar?
Alex does not watch sci-fi anymore, especially stuff we recommend.
I tried to watch Interstellar and I ended up giving up, but man, was it iconic on the music side?
This movie. Oh my gosh. It's like I love sci-fi, but like the good one where it's not all like, weapons and shooting, whatever. It's like there's an actual metaphysical kind of explanation to it. So I love that one. The other reason I wouldn't choose the water is because have you guys seen that like in the last month something washed up ashore? It's called the doomsday fish or something. It comes from the depths of the ocean. It always, like, they call it doomsday fish because they've only ever like recovered 5 of them in like the lifetime of humanity or whatever, and they precede big tsunamis or something. Have you seen a picture of that?
Oh, goodness.
Google
I've heard
But every
it,
once
but I
in a
didn't-
while, our oceans become green.
Yeah, maybe. But this is like, so anyway, this thing is like this huge, I don't know, it's like, look terrible. Look it up, doomsday fish.
Yes.
And so you never know what you'll find in the ocean. We feel like, I'm looking it up too. We feel like we know what's down there because we see it, but then like it's called the orifice.
I bet. They become
No.
blue. They become blue.
It's not pretty.
I know. So then see, like you don't know what's down there really. Anyway, that's my answer, and I'm sticking with it. How did I do,
All right.
Alex?
Our oceans become this blue every once in a while.
Oh wow, look at that.
Like they just start illuminating. So I don't know what's down there.
We saw that. Wait, where was that? We were on vacation like 15 years ago, and they have that, and I don't remember where it is. But anyway, how did I do on my answer?
Better.
All right. So question number 3. Real simple question. What is your superpower?
She's got her spirit animal locked in.
Like it's a legit or the one I want? Okay, so see, I need clarification. One that I actually think I have, or like
No,
one
you're
that-
not. We don't get clarification on
It
the
says
test. You
what
don't get
is your
clarification.
superpower. So the one you
Anything.
actually have.
All right. I can read people's feelings.
What am I feeling right now?
Contempt.
Remorse.
Anger.
Exactly. I think that I value a relationship above everything else. Honestly, I will always go to bat for everybody, and I want everybody to be joyful and peaceful. And so I if I feel like somebody's not doing well, that really, so it's like, I'll find the negative emotion and I'll try to make them better. And then if somebody's
You're gonna want to remember this tonight when your future daughter-in-law comes here.
yes.
Until she says she's
You'll
a
know
PM
exactly
for
how she
Monday.com.
feels.
Yeah, until she's like, surprise.
No. No. Oh my God, that would be terrible. They've only dated for 3 months. I mean, like, yeah, that's not unheard of, but he's 23.
I got married at 21.
Yeah, you
Really, Alex?
need to meet first.
Wow. Yeah, I know. Oh God. Okay. Now you're really making me freak out. Dang it.
All right, so folks, back on the questions.
Okay.
All right. So if you were a ghost, what location do you think you'd want to haunt?
Haunt. I'd like to haunt.
The
First,
Haunted Mansion would be a good place to start.
Ghost,
Disneyland.
present, past, and future. We just had that on the Ice Taja this morning. I would haunt the Anaheim Convention Center.
The whole
Hey, Walt-
future team.
Outside the perimeter, the red perimeter. Payback for all the crime scene that Alex says goes on over there.
They're not right in front of Disneyland. They're in the surrounding areas. You'll be fine.
Right. Then I'll haunt that. No.
All I can tell you is I left Disneyland on 2 Sundays ago, and as we're leaving, like 10 cop cars are going that away.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's what I'm going to haunt. Don't go outside the red, Joanna the ghost.
Stay within the red.
All right, so last question. What do you think the world will look like in 300 years?
Oh my God, Terminator. I am one of those people that fears AI. But I'll tell you some good news about that. So also at the offsite we had at Anaheim, very interestingly, our new head of marketing, Linda, who just celebrated her 1 year, she's a fabulous woman. She and Dom Price, you all know Dom, the futurist, work futurist, right? Yep. They invited this gentleman to give a talk about like the future of work and how we adapt to that and all that. And he said a lot about AI. And he said that, there are still people who are worried about that. I mean, we're worried about we might be outplaced, right? Because we're all knowledge workers and AI is now going after that market, right? There's a lot of reasons, and the Terminator is not a possibility. So he says, but therefore we have to become more human. And we do that by our virtue and our character, humanity, right? So the more that AI can do the job of the calculations and the whatever, we have to be more human with our integrity and our good character and the practice of, values and virtues. So it was really good. But anyway, nevertheless,
I was gonna say I'll take the Silicon Valley approach.
Which is what?
So the guy was doing some stuff and he's just positively talking about AI because he's like, the AI overlords are listening. So when they come over and take over the world, they'll remember how positive I spoke about them. And they will have mercy on me.
I'm going a whole nother route.
What?
I'm just going to become a cyborg, so I'm one of them.
Oh,
you're just going to assimilate?
Did you already?
I'm already a cyborg, so I'm getting there.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I really, it's odd. But I don't want to be a downer at the end, but we also have, a lot of conflict in the world. So I'm worried about that too. I think that, I'd like to spread kindness and positivity. Let's see that note, that no matter what AI does or whatever, that I think human kindness and honesty, humility will never be out of style. So are you nodding to that, Rodney? He's like, Rush news.
That's so boring. what a typical Christmas sentiment.
Wow, Rodney. Even I didn't
That
do
was poorly timed, but yeah.
It was beautiful, Joanna.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see you, Joanna, in 6 months, 5 months, whatever it is now.
Yeah.
I think we're 4.5 now.
4. Yeah.
4.5. I'll be at Disneyland the whole time.
Is that in the red? Inside the red?
Absolutely, it's in the red. The red is the safe. Disneyland is like the safest place you can be. Do you know why?
No ghosts?
Because of the Pulse nightclub shooting.
Oh.
The shooting that happened in Orlando at the Pulse nightclub, that was intended for Disney World.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And the guy went in a stroller. He had he managed to get a stroller through security full of guns. And when he got to the House of Blues, it was a high profile artist, and there was extra security guards, so he had to change of heart, and he left Disney Springs, that's their version of downtown Disney, and went to the Orlando Pulse. But after that, because Disney found out they were a prime target, Disney's it's a hard place to go do some crime there. Like they've drastically increased their security at Disney.
All right, so we will be safe. Let's go out on the note that we're going to be safe and have a good time.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Be ready to walk a lot. Though. I walk 10,000 steps in 4 hours, folks. That's just 4 hours, and these conferences are 18-hour days. So,
right?
I know. Yeah. Now, until then, what do we do? Are we almost at time? Happy New Year, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the 620. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Unless you made it too hard for me to pass, but I'm gonna go do the.
I passed it, Alex, so you can.
I'm gonna go to the 620. Hopefully, sometime in late February, early March.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I know you guys have been all commenting on the girlfriend. I sure hope she never watches this.
We'll have her on next time, right?
Yeah,
When
you
all
gotta
goes
bring her
well,
on.
She can come join us.
You do gotta let us know how much of a Hallmark movie it was.
Yes.
And you gotta let us know if she's already like engaged.
We need to know. I think the biggest thing we need to know is the genre of the movie ended up being. Is it a romance? Is it a romantic comedy? Well, what happened?
What are the other
Is it
choices?
like The Devil Wears Prada?
Prada.
Would you be Meryl Streep?
Die Hard. It was time. No. All right. I'll keep you posted. Anyway.
Awesome.
All right. And for everyone else, next week we will be having a special episode. We are bringing on our YouTube members for our end of year review. Take a look back at the year in the Jira Life that was season 2, 2024. We are absolutely looking forward to it. But as we always say, we didn't choose Jira Life. Jira Life chose us. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Jira Life. Our hosts are Alex, Dr. Jira Ortiz, and Rodney, the Jira Guy, Nissen. You can find Alex on YouTube at 8Tech Tutorials, and Rodney's blog is found over at thejiraguy.com. Our producers are Robert King Bob Wen and Lina Ortiz. You can catch us live as we record this podcast every Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on YouTube at The Jira Life. Be sure to join us and our other Jira Amigos of the Peanut Gallery every week to ask your questions, let us know your comments, and just tell us what you're up to. But if you can't join us live, you can still catch the replay over on YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell while you're watching. We're also available as a podcast over on Apple iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you listen to it and think it deserves a rating, we would very much appreciate it, as it will help others discover the Jira Life. Because we didn't choose the Jira Life. The Jira Life chose us.